Good afternoon, guys, friends, family. This afternoon, I'll be discussing. Okay, no, I can add now, but I'm not adding. This afternoon, I'll be discussing food crisis and the impending food crisis and the causes, how we can reduce or avoid it, or prevention of it, and a lot of things. I'll be discussing them this afternoon. So now, we hear everywhere going to food crisis. What exactly do we mean by food crisis? Food crisis mean there will be scarcity of food. There will be, there will be no food will not be plenty in circulation, as in food productions, and already you're experiencing it wherever you are. The price of what you are buying or whatever you are buying in the market has reduced, as in the price has increased, as in you are looking for something, 10 or 20 people are looking for it, and yeah, it's caused by so many reasons. Now, I'm going to briefly mention, I'm not going to spend so much time, so I'm going to briefly mention the reasons why there will be possible increase in food prices, and why there will be possible increase in food prices. One major reason why food is a bit getting scarce right now, that we'll be facing before now, is droughts. There was drought in dry season, in rainy season, and this year is already predicted that there will be drought again. What is meant by drought is that we're supposed to be in rainy season, but rain is not falling. As in the middle of rainy season, when everybody has finished planting, then there will be possibility of rain stopping. And if rain stops and the crop will not get rain, it means they will die. That's one causes. The second causes is X-Men, bandits, and so many other things. You can see the north every day they are killing 20, they are killing 100. So farmers have run away from the farm, they finish killing them. The northerners are the ones that produce major food stuff, but right now they've been reduced. The farmers there have greatly reduced. And in the southwestern most especially, we are battling X-Men issue, as in cattle will go and destroy farms and destroy foodstuffs and everything. That's another causes of scarcity. Now, the third one that might possibly, the fourth one that happened sometimes last year is COVID. People believe COVID, during the COVID section, see, there's a lot of things people didn't understand about COVID last year. There was a blockage, as in people were having food from the rural side to the city. I know, I even traveled from city to the, I remember I followed a truck. I followed the truck going to supply food in Lagos, to go and supply food, and it was tough crossing the road to Lagos. You know, every police post, they were collecting 500 naira, 1,000 naira from the driver. You know who pay for that? The farmers that is bringing the food, or the middleman, and then it gets back to the, you know that kind of steps. So that's another third reason why food is becoming a major issue. Now, during COVID, because we could not move our food stuff out, like some of us that have tomatoes and all these things, because we could not move them to Lagos or the area where we threw them away. Remember, there was no preservation. So some of these stuff were thrown away, and because all of this stuff were thrown away, we were not able to, farmer was running at a loss. So part of what is making food to be a bit scarce. The phone right now is the war. Yeah, I'm sure, you know, if you're like the rural, if you are like the rural farmer like me, that I normally believe that what's happening in the world does not concern me after the village. Now I'm going to tell you how the war in Ukraine and Russia is going to affect you as an individual. I'm sure every household in Nigeria is bread. Bread is made from wheat. Wheat is imported from Russia and Ukraine. So now you know how it's going to affect you. It means the price of bread is going to go up. It's not only bread. There are other things. Even sometimes maize are imported from Russians, and those countries are major agricultural area of the world. So and Nigeria is one of the countries that depend on them for all these things. So what it means is that they're going to now, okay, there's war in Ukraine. Because there's war in Ukraine, it means this farming season, those citizens will not be able to plant. They won't be able to produce any crop. It means nothing is coming to Nigeria. You can see it's already affecting petrol, fuel, and everything, because we are importing. After we send the raw material, we import the finished material. You know, but I'm talking about food stuff here. So you can see, so there's impending food crisis. We also import fish. and some other things from Ukraine and Russia, and yes, Nigeria imports a lot. So it's not that we cannot produce them in Nigeria, but you know, the farmers are not equipped to produce. You know, if you want to produce those kind of things, you need a lot. You need equipment, as in, you don't expect me to use hoe and cutlass to produce food for 100 people. Rather, I will be able to produce for 2 or 3 people. Now, those are the costs of impending. So when we say impending, okay, this thing is coming. It's coming gradually. This is what we're going to be facing. Now, let me go. As a farmer, you're watching this as a farmer. How do you reduce? How do you control? How do you salvage your whole thing? Now, this is what I will tell people. Another factor that is going to make food to be extremely costly is farm workers. I know in some other video I've discussed so much about farm workers. So I'm telling you again that farm workers is another impending factor. This is March. Farm workers are not coming from Benin, Togo. I learned some of them too are having, there's a lot of issues anyway. You might not understand it because I'm a farmer. If you're a farmer, you understand what I'm saying. So those are the factors. I've mentioned about 5 that are going to make food to increase. You already feel it already. It's not that I'm the one telling you. You already know food prices are already increasing. Now look at what can you do. One, if you're not a farmer, you're here, you're watching, the first thing you should do is start planting something beside your house. I said this several times. Pack soil, pack. You know, we normally pack before you poultry waste. As in, they'll come and pack it. They'll just take it. I don't want. Now, poultry waste is money because they know we are using it to plant, and food is becoming scarce. So look for poultry waste. They might not dash you now. You have to buy. Like I stand the bags up. So start planting something close to your house. How I say, you will save cost. You will save cost. The other thing about it is that I have a training called sack farming. You can get into it, get it, and study how you can do sack farming at the back of your window, at the inner small space. There's no space small. Switch to all these things. Now, if you feel like me, yes, we still want to plant and sell to you. The first target you should think of this year planting is irrigation. Where is the source of water? I already told you, and 9 minutes. Don't mind me, my pronunciations are not too good. I'm a farmer, so it's not that way. But okay, so 9 months already predicted that rain is going to be, there is going to be droughts. Remember when I started, I said drought means the scarcity of rain in between the rainy season. For instance, like rain started, as in this is March, maybe rain fall day, it will fall in. If rain is falling every 2 days or every 3 days, it's fine for farmers. Crops will be fine. But if rain falls like a week, then stop for like 2 weeks, crops are dead already. Crops cannot survive without rainfall for 2 weeks. And it happens. So it's those periods when rain did not fall, that 2 weeks period or that 3 weeks period when rain did not fall is what we call droughts. So it is that drought period that usually destroy crop, and that is what is actually reducing food. I've told you part of what is reducing food stuff. That is what's making food to be very scarce. So if you are planning to farm as a farmer, relax first. Go on, relax, sit down, take your pen and your biro and do your calculation. Okay, which food do I want to plant? Is it maize? Is it rice? Is it beans? Is it just decide and make sure it's something that has markets. Plant. Okay, which ones are people looking for? I know maize is hot commodity. Virtually every food is hot commodity now. If you notice, poultry and everything, they are closing up because they could not really afford the cost of buying maize for their livestock and everything. So those are high commodity. You should not get to understand high commodity produce. Don't follow because I said. Follow something, research and know what you can plant to market. That's why I say relax, then calculate, then plan irrigation. You see, it's rainy season actually. Already the rural farmers are running around, they are clearing land and they are preparing for the irrigation. By the time they finish clearing and they prepare for the irrigation, they'll find out that if this is not clear on Yinka Adeshola, you can go to Farm Villa. Farm Villa has a clear network, don't mind me. Farm Villa has a clearer network where you can watch. So now if you don't plan irrigation, if you plant your maize and then all of a sudden in the middle of the rainy season, water stops for 2 weeks or for 3 weeks, everything is going dead. I've made this example. Last year, I remember there's a woman close to my farm here. She cultivated about 100 acres. By the time and you know what, she bought hybrid seed. She has tractor, she has planter, she used planter, so they were closely planted. She follows almost every recommended good agricultural practices, but there was no irrigation. When that drought came, now drought will not tell you when it will come. NIMET is guesswork. Like they say, okay, between so and between so, but you don't know whether that period will be in your own area or in my own area. Remember, we have different area and different location. The farmer was telling you about, they put in everything. They even use manure. They plant closely 25 meters because they use tractor planter. They use so many things together. But at the end of the day, there was drought. But they did not plant for irrigation. They lost all the farm. Yes, it was a massive loss because everything dried up. The maize dried up without maturing. So that's why I said, instead of that 100 acres we are planning to do, why don't you just reduce it to like, instead of 100 acres, why don't you just reduce it to 50? So at 50 acres, if you reduce to 50 acres, at 50 acres, you can now use the money meant for the extra back. So your class continue, you join us. So you need to plan, you need to relax, you plan, you irrigate, and then you need to plan your market. Like I said, there's possibility now market will keep increasing, but there's something. Even if you assume it's market, don't just plant. You need to enter the market. Don't listen to hearsay. See, the way I will sell in my own area is quite different from the way you will get to sell in your own area. So I need to plan my own area. I can only tell you what is happening in my own side. I cannot tell you what will happen in your own side. I can always predict or give you prices of what is happening in my own side, but I cannot give you prices of what is happening in your own side. So these little things, and then again, plan batch planting. What did I mean by batch planting? By batch planting, I mean, okay, instead of you have that 100 acre, you might not do the 100 acre, plant them in 20. Okay, in early April, plant like 20 acre. In the middle of April, plant another 20 acre. In the early May, plant 20 acre. You know, you already spacing it. If you plant that at once and you don't have irrigation and there was drought, you might have problem. But if you take them 20 after each other, they will be at different stages and you might be able to salvage. That is when you don't have money for irrigation. But actually, it is very preferable for you to plan irrigation along. There's climate change and nobody can really predict what will happen. I hope I'll be able to pass some information across to you. If you have any question, please drop it in the comment. I will respond to it, or check another of my live video that I will still be doing. So guys, thank you for watching this, and if it's useful to you, you could also share with somebody. You see, when you share with somebody, it's easy for us to create a network where we can, okay, look for a way to sort our problem, rather than, okay, I know this is what I'll do on my own and I'm taking it alone. So guys, catch you next time and in another topic. Okay, thank you.